Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of No ID Podcast here. I have here, I can't even say phenomenal. I
Oh,
won't even say crazy. I'm giving this man his flowers before we even start the podcast. I see nothing but great things with this man. I've seen his highlights on YouTube. I've seen the highlights all over on Instagram. I found him off of Black Wrestling Instagram page. The great Nigah Sism.
yes. I appreciate that great introduction. Wonderful introduction. Make me sound bigger than I am, but yeah.
Hey man, yeah, I see it, man. I'm a fan. I became a fan. I think you had a video that went viral where you were wrestling your son, and then I just
Not
tapped
my
you.
son.
Not your
So
son.
let me explain it. The video has went viral. On my page alone, it's up to almost 800,000. It's about at 800,000. But there's another page who took my video and posted it on Facebook as their own, and I think it has over 1 million. The last time I checked, it was around 700,000, but that was a couple of weeks ago. Then another page posted it on Facebook too as their own video, but they did tag me, and that got over 20,000. So collectively on the internet, it is well over 1 million views, and that's just actually one of my fans, and he's the son of one of the photographers that actually shoot PCW wrestling show. It's her son, so you can hear her in the background. Come on, Trey. So that's her son. But
Okay.
he's a big fan. She sent me pictures of him posing like me, and it's crazy to inspire, you know,
Uh,
different kids, and I get it at all the shows, like kids coming with their faces painted and stuff like that. I love it.
the face paint. Let's start there. We're gonna go
Okay.
all around. How did you come about with the face paint? Like who inspired you? What inspired you? Or,
It's not that complicated of a story. Growing up, my favorite wrestlers were the guys with the face paint: Sting, Warrior, Great Muta, the Road Warriors. You name it, I loved guys with face paint. And then when I first started wrestling, I was into music. And a part of my music, I wanted to do something that kind of set me apart, make me stand out. So I added a little face paint. And my character as a musician kind of just merged with my wrestling character. I'm always thinking branding and marketing. I don't think like just like an indie wrestler. I'm always thinking what can be marketable, what can be branding wise. There you got the logos, you got the shirts, you got the colors. It's marketable.
definitely, hell yeah. Sting, Great Muta, I would say Road Warriors. Yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
name a couple of great ones, man. How did you get started into wrestling though? Like, what made you wake up one day and do that?
I have been a wrestling fan since I think I was about 4 years old. And what would happen is I would like watch a lot of the same stuff over and over because we would go to the store to get, rent DVDs and rent stuff. And I would just, they don't always have new stuff. So sometimes I just rent the same thing over and over. But I've just always been a wrestling fan. And like I told you, I was doing music here in Atlanta, and I was performing at a venue, and I saw wrestling come across the big screen. And I was like, "Where's that at? What's that?" They was like, "Oh, that's wrestling. They train here on Tuesdays." I was like, "Really? I'm coming." They was like, "You're a musician. You're not coming to wrestle." I showed up Tuesday, and that Tuesday, and literally I was doing everything because I've always been into martial arts, boxing. My background is in martial arts, boxing, captain of the wrestling team in high school, all of that. So I already had a little natural talent. In my mind, I've been watching wrestling and studying it all my life. So it literally came to me like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say the psychology came to me like that. Um, Not the psychology, but the moves, the bumping. Because when I first started wrestling, I was having 10, 15-minute matches with vets, and we were just calling in the ring, and it was easy, like butter to me. No planning anything out. I had a best of 7 series with a guy who named Phantom, who didn't like to plan anything. So literally, we had 7 matches of just beating the hell out of each other, no calling, no planning, doing a lot of the crazy stuff you see on TV now, reversals, all that crazy stuff. We were doing it without planning it out. It was just us going in the ring. And that was like me 6 months into wrestling.
Damn.
Mm.
I went to wrestling school for 1 hour.
Speaking of a wrestling school, for whoever's watching, if you're in the Atlanta, Decatur, Stone Mountain, Covington, Collier, Georgia's area, I am one of the trainers at Platinum Championship Wrestling PCW's wrestling school. We train on every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have a good hold on the basics, but we can teach every element of wrestling, whether it's branding, marketing, promos, everything. We do it all.
Yeah, that's actually very important. I commend you for sticking through. Like I went 1 hour, and 40 of that was on the phone trying to figure out if I'm going to actually do this. The other 20 was me actually pulling up to the driveway and was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tap out on this one, man. So
It's not easy, and it's not for the weak. And I mentor a lot of young talents right now. I talk to a lot of younger guys now, and they have it easy now, and they don't know they have it easy. But it's easier to get your name out with social media now. So many different promotions to work for and everything. But a lot of the younger talents now have become entitled. After 6 months, 3 months of training, they think they're good. They think they're the best just because they can do some flips. But they still don't have the psychology. They still don't understand the business. And that's what we're running into with a lot of younger talents now that's just starting out. They want it right then and there. They want it within 6 months of training. They're not willing to work for it. They're not willing to grind for it. And a lot of them aren't going to make it because they're not willing to put the work in. They think they deserve it within a year.
yeah, that's true. That's just like with me in comedy. You get some cats, they'll get like a good 5 minute set. Think I could shoot a Netflix special with 5 minutes. Like, bro, it will be an ad for every time you said a sentence. But it is what it is, man. You know what? I do want to say, I want to give you a compliment. Your move set closely reminds me of AJ Styles' TNA run when they actually went over the Spike when they first were starting off.
I'm a big fan of his, and
Tell.
one of the bookers here in Georgia who I really always take advice from, and has been around forever. He does gear. He still does AJ Styles gear to this day. Rick Michaels. When AJ Styles had his first tryout match in WWE, I think like 2002, 2003, he had that tryout match against Rick Michaels. So Rick Michaels is a legend here in Georgia. And just speaking of AJ, I just had to bring that up. But
Okay.
he's somebody I've always studied and loved. AJ RVD. I'm a AJ RVD, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ricky Steamboat type of guy when I in ring wise. That's where I put my mindset as far as my in ring work. Character work, I like the guys with the face paint and all that, the colors and all that. But wrestling wise, I'm looking to Shawn, Bret, RVD, AJ. And I don't like to necessarily take from people when I do with my moveset and stuff. I'll take from somebody, but I'll make it my own. For instance, like Leo Rush does the bottom rope thing where he springs back and does the stunner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do the bottom rope thing, but I'll come back and do a clothesline. So I'll take some things from some people, but I always make it my own. I'm not going to do exactly what other people do. And some people say, "Well, it's wrestling. It doesn't matter about the move." It doesn't matter about the moves, but one part that makes me stand out. I'm a smaller guy, so I have to do things that makes me stand out. And one thing that makes me stand out is being creative in the ring and having a regular move set, but my move set is different from everyone else's move set.
Facts. How has been the wrestling grind from graduating from wrestling school and into the level that you are at right now, and then progressing on to like a bigger territory, a bigger market, like maybe an AEW or Impact or
NWA,
WDA. Yeah.
ROH, yeah. So what happened for me when I first started, I didn't understand the business. And that's why I'm on Younger Talents now, because I was just wrestling at PCW and was like, this is great. This is it. I didn't know anything about indie wrestling. I didn't really even ever think about getting signed. I was just doing it for fun. And then Xavier Woods started to train with us for a while. That was when I was just brand new. He started training with us right before he got signed to WWE, and he really like took me under his wing, like right, and he took me to a Ring of Honor show. He always talked great about me because he was able to see that best of 7. And he was like, I can't believe they're having these matches and not calling anything. They're just literally going in there and wrestling. And he took to me, and I always respect that. You know, that was a big deal for me. But at the time, I didn't know how big of a deal that was, that somebody on his level would take the time to really sew into me and really push me and all that kind of stuff. I didn't understand the business, so I started to venture off from PCW and go a couple other places, started to get pushed, started to get championships and stuff like that. But then I got an opportunity with music to travel overseas and do a tour overseas. I got booked on an international tour. So I was like, life is kicking my butt right now. I'm going to step away from wrestling, go do this tour. Then I'll come back and eventually I'll start back wrestling. That never happened. I took a break. I came back in 2020. As soon as I started training to come back in 2020, first I came back, it was in December, I came and watched the wrestling show. And I was like, because PCW had been gone for a while. They came back, they got a new building. I was like, oh, they can do this. This person can do this. I started to talk to some of the talents. I started to commentate. And I was like, I guess I could do one more match. This 2020, I was like, I guess I'll do one more match. So I started training just for one match. March 2020 happened. I got into a bad car accident. Some car got totaled. Couldn't train for like 4 or 5 months because my back was so messed up. So, I had just started training to come back. So then I had to train to come back from the back injury. So I had my first match in January 8th, 2021. First match back. I wrestled for like 4 months in PCW. I didn't really wrestle. I wrestled maybe one show. Didn't wrestle for a couple shows. Wrestled one show. Had a couple matches here and there. But I was really starting to get good. But in my mindset, my cardio wasn't where I wanted it to be. I just was doubting myself. Then Rick, speaking of Rick Michaels, he came. He's like, hey, you should come to Anarchy because he's booking Anarchy here in Georgia. Used to be NWA Wildside, which is where AJ Styles, R-Truth, all of them got their start at. So he was like, you should come on. He's like, you're good. I promise you're good enough to do this. I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in the best shape, blah, blah, blah. I just was doubting myself. And eventually I got out and started wrestling at multiple shows. Next thing I'm challenging for world championships here, there. It just gradually started to happen. And if you would have asked me 2 years ago, would this be going on now? Main eventing multiple shows, having Nick Patrick's retirement match. Within 2.5 years, I've done all of this. I main evented the biggest shows here in Georgia. Sold out arenas. A couple weeks ago, we sold out the Eastern downtown Atlanta, me and Owen Knight, over 1,200 people. So, none of this was planned. None of this was in my head. None of this I thought was going to happen. It just happened. So, after putting in this hard work over the past 2 years, after about a year putting in that hard work and starting to really get booked, I said, I think I can really make it doing this. So, the ultimate goal is for me, if I ever get to wrestle on a big stage like WWE, wow. But my main goal is to get overseas, get some years overseas, really wrestling, get them wrestling in Europe, Japan. I would love to get to the opportunity to do Impact, NWA, AEW, and overseas. Those are the main things that I would like to accomplish before my career is over.
Hell yeah, man. Like I see now, like everybody's kind of moving away from the big box of WWE, and they're going to more towards AEW or ROH. You see the relationships being built with Impact and New Japan and DDT. And I'm just saying there's a big surgence. And I also see a big surgence in a lot of more black wrestlers being featured a lot more. Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, Rich Swann, Alex Kane, Shane
Speaking
Taylor.
of Alex Kane, shout out to him. I had an awesome match with him. What was that, in July? Great match. And that's another thing that really pushed me along this year. For people who didn't have their eyes on me, a lot more eyes got on me after that Alex Kane match earlier this year. And it was a month before he won the MLW championship. So that was a big deal for me. So all respect due to him also.
Big respect to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason why I started watching MLW. Hopefully, I get him as a guest up here, but I definitely need to get Nigah Sism story out a lot more.
Thank you. But it was speaking of Alex, that was a great match. I loved it. It reminded me of like a Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, or Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. It was that style of match. You know, I had to fight from under. I had to use my speed to fight against those suplexes, his power and everything, and we had a banger.
Hell yeah.
And I got that roll up in that pin. On the screen. He gonna get my no rematches, no rematches. I can't
No
give him a
mas.
chance to get it back.
You
I
know
can't
how you remember
unless
that?
you want to put that MLW championship on the line. You know, I'll come to you, Court Bauer. You know, you can just go ahead and book that match. I'll come on and, you know.
Hey man, MLW be lit, man. I saw they brought Don King back the other week. I was like, damn. You remember that first feeling you had when you stepped in the ring, and that first feeling you had when you got that first W, or that
Nope.
first? You don't.
The first one is how I feel every time because I'm always nervous. Every time I go out, I'm never like, oh, I got this. I'm cool. I'm always backstage stretching for like about an hour, doing push-ups before I go out, stretching, praying, getting my mind together. I'm nervous whether it's in front of 500 people, 1,000 people, 20 people, 100 people, because I'm my worst critic. And not only am I my worst critic, I'm also, how would I put this? I never settle. I always want to be the best. I always want to steal the show. I don't care if I'm in the opening match. I don't care if I'm on the last match. I always want to be the best. I don't know if I ever get out of that. I've heard some vets say, you know, I used to want to be the best, but I realized I'm gonna get paid the same regardless or whatever. You know, I've heard that, but I just always want to be the best on the card.
I don't think nobody gets in the business not to be the best. And
People
you,
do. Trust me. It's plenty of people who are just in this business because they like doing it. They like wrestling. Because I was that guy when I first started. I just liked wrestling. I wanted to be good and I wanted to be the best where I was at, where I was wrestling at. But I didn't have this big aspiration of I could be doing this overseas. And I would hear my trainer said, people say, you know, you can go as far as you want in this business. I'll hear them telling other people, you know, he can be a big star. He can go wherever he want to do whatever he want to do in the business. And I'm listening, and in my head, I'm listening. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm doing music too. And blah blah blah. You know, it's like I didn't realize what I had when I had it, but now I do. And you know that comes with maturity. And
it
a lot of
does.
stuff that the younger talents are going through now, like attention tantrums or temper tantrums, or you know being upset about certain things, or thinking they should have won this award or they should be winning this championship and stuff like that. You just got to put the work in instead of complaining about it. Shut up, go train, get in the gym, and get better. That's what I say. You doing too much of this instead of doing too much of this. You doing too much of this instead of running the ropes and training. Keep talking. All that talking is why y'all not getting to the point where you're supposed to be at.
Fuck yeah.
It's a big problem in the industry now. Just because you got a couple cool reels and you can do a lot of cool flips and stuff like that. See, I can post reels doing cool flips and cool moves and stuff, but not only is the reel of the clips and the moves cool, but the whole match, the story of the match is what's good. The story of the match, the flow of the match is what's the good part. So, you know, that's what I mean by they post the cool flips and stuff, but then you watch the whole 10-minute match and the match is sloppy as hell. They strikes look horrible, but they did a cool flip. But they look like they've been doing karate at the local Kroger. They look like they learning how to fight at Kroger's. You know what I'm saying? It's just like step your game up. That's what I tell everybody. I do a lot of talking, but I back it up because I train every week. There's not a week that doesn't go by I don't train. As good as I am or people think I am, I train every week still.
That means you're
And in
true.
training, I'm not that old. I'm not that vet that's like, oh, I'm not taking that. I'm not doing that. No, we were working on body slams off the top rope in practice on Thursday before I had my 3 Stages of Hell match against Owen Knight Friday night. We were literally doing a Ric Flair bump off the top rope. You know, so it is what it is. Too many wrestlers now out here talking. Stop talking. Go train. Live up to the hype.
That's it. I think we like it more of a push button era, like an air fryer microwave, than put on the oven and cook it on the stove type. Where
Yes.
everybody wants that shit so fast, man, and they don't realize like it's a grind to get to the top. Sometimes you get cats you meet that could be 20 plus years into the game and they're still going hard as hell. And they'll get that big break and they're still going hard as hell. And it's like, you
LA
can't have
Knight.
it now. Exactly.
LA
He
Knight
just
was
got it.
wrestling in 99. And now he's 41. Main eventing. So no one can tell me like it's never anything is possible if you put the work in. You become undeniable. Which not only with your social media and your presence in the ring and everything, you just become undeniable as an undeniable package. Your branding, your body, getting your body in shape. Chris Jericho's in his 50s. Claudia, all these people are wrestling in their 40s and 50s, and they're in their prime, and they're not slowing down. So all these young people thinking, oh, let the young people get a chance. Blah blah blah. Make your way. You know, fight your way through. Kick the door in. Break the glass ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My thing is I always tell people, shut the fuck up, put the work in, and it'll speak for itself. You may not win that award, but you want to be that guy that even if you didn't win the award, you'll have people coming to you like, man, damn, you should have won that one. That should make you even go even harder going on to the next time and the next time, man. If you just shut the fuck up, focus on your craft, drink water, and mind your business, I promise you, in music, wrestling, even in comedy and podcasting, you'll go so far.
Speaking of podcasting, something I'm about to get into. So when I start my new podcast, I can have you on as a guest.
Hell yeah, I got you. Hit me up. I believe in returning the love. I believe in giving the flowers out there, and I believe in just helping out because I believe that the entertainment gods, as I like to say, will bless us back. You know what I mean? Like if you bless me with 30 minutes of your time, I can bless you with 30 or more minutes of my time. That's plain and simple.
And now, speaking when you say how awards and stuff work, and how people are like, oh, you should have got this, and you should be here, and you should be this. So, just to bring it up, what is the black top 500?
Yeah,
They have the PWI 500, so they had the BW 500, and of course, it's not official. It's not an official list, right? It's not an official list that a committee came together and they went and checked records and they went and checked they voted and all that kind of stuff, and then they came up with it. It's one guy's opinion. Okay, I'm fine with that. But everyone was kind of like sending me the list. How are you not on the list? You've beaten a lot of people on the list. You've beaten people in the top 100, the top 200, 300, and, through the whole list, I've beaten people in. My brand is way stronger than a lot of people. I was like, at the end of the day, my brand, who I am, shines through all of that. It doesn't matter if I'm on the list, not on the list, because everybody knows who deserves to be in what, who don't deserve, whatever. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be the greatest, the baddest, the best. I'm still going to be main eventing. I'm still going to be walking around here with plenty of belts on me. I'm still going to be selling plenty of merch at shows. I'm still going to be doing everything I'm doing. I'm still going to be in the main event. Half that people on that list never even wrestled in front of 500 people. They never been in the main event. They never sold out a venue. They never held world championships. So at the end of the day, it's a list. I don't care about it.
Talk your shit.
It's a list. And I'm proud of everybody that was on the list. But hey, it's a list.
It's other people's opinions.
And guess what this is? This is a business. And for me, it's been a business. That's why my merch is, I'm always selling shirts. I'm selling autographed pictures. Hey, I'm booked and busy. Whether I'm on a list or not.
I like it, man. How did you do that 3 Stages of Hell match Well, on night, man, because you jumped off some shit. You taped them up to a table. I'm like,
Now
how
you
you?
know what? So it's pretty much all over social media right now, and it just happened Friday. And somebody sent me a video of it, and I was like, "Dang, so many people got videos." We're in the digital age where I was like, "Well, dang, I want to wait till the show come out so I can watch it." Just to kind of like that. The first match was a regular match, and pretty much we went back and forth. We wrestled each other about 12 times this year. We had everything between me and Owen. We wrestled for the first time last July or June, something like that. And after wrestling him once, I was like, wow, it's something there. Like, we can make magic together. Last November, I challenged him to the Best of Seven series at Southern Honor. We had the Best of Seven series. It ended at Southern Honor in February. I mean, nobody has tested me in the ring like that. This guy is super talented. If anybody deserves to be on the main stage, he is one of those talents because it's not just the in-ring, it's the personality. He can talk, he can do it all, and he deserves every accolade and every spot that he's in right now. Then we end up having another big match at a Comic-Con in like Tupelo, I think it was Mississippi, Tupelo or something like that. It's hundreds of people there. That was great. Then we came back. We did it again at a festival here in Forest Park. Anyway, we just couldn't get away from each other. And after that Best of Seven, the crowd started chanting, "We want a tag team." So we had a great tag team match against the Washington Bullets, top tag team here in Georgia for years. Then we challenged for the tag titles. That's when he turned on me. So all of that led to finally we got the end. It started in November last year. It ends in November this year. So 3 stages of hell. First match was back and forth like our normal Best of Seven style matches we had back and forth. Then it turned into Falls Count Anywhere. We battled all over the arena, chair shots, trash can shots, low blows. Then it went to the I Quit match, and what you said, the I Quit match ended how you just the strap to the table and everything like that.
That was
But I
long.
don't want to give too much away. We're just going to let people watch it when it comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's long-term storytelling from what I heard.
Yes, and
Long-term
that's one
storytelling.
thing. A lot of these talents who think they are good and think they are great. I said, yeah, you've done a bunch of flips and you do cool stuff, but how many long-term stories have you been in? How many promotions have been able to build a story around you and then bring that story to the end? And then how many promotions have been able to put you in a main event spot, build the promotion around you and all that? So yeah, you've had a couple cool matches and you did a couple good flips and did a couple little good spots and all that kind of stuff. But it's not about the wrestling. It's not just about that. You got to be able to tell stories, promos. You got to be able to bring it all into a package. And so I'm tested. I'm tested in every aspect from the promos to the backstage stuff to the main events to the tag team matches. I've been tested. I'm prepared. So I always tell every time I do an interview, I say, I don't know what's next, but I do know I'm prepared for whatever is next. And I'm always going to be prepared.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Before we end the interview,
We about to wrap it up because you know what? I got a photo shoot in 30 minutes with my new faction.
show
We
it,
about to
show
get
it.
it. My new faction is coming over. We about to get these new shirts. We about to get the photo shoot with the new shirts and everything. Shoot some vignettes.
Hell yeah.
Because that's my next step. Building everyone in my faction has been wrestling less than 2 or 3 years or whatever. Some of them have been wrestling for a year or two. Everybody's pretty much in the rookie or coming up status. So I'm starting a faction not with established guys. I'm starting a faction with 4 younger talents that I can elevate. So this as we build this story and we start this group, I'm going to elevate now. Wherever I'm at, I'm going to bring them with me. We're going to have on the shirts. We're going to have on the hoodies. So, yeah.
yeah.
I'm about not only just building myself up as I'm on this wrestling journey. If I see somebody who has the talent, I'm going to build them up too and elevate them too.
Man, if you ever need a comedy writer,
Yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about that too because if I have a show called It's Variety, which is sketch comedy. The first season I did by myself. I did multiple characters, filmed the whole thing myself. The second season I did a cast. I had a full cast. So I've already written the third season, and we were planning for that to be on Tubi. So that's my whole other side of the thing. My whole TV show, It's Variety. So maybe I'll get you linked up on that, and you can see what I got going on with It's Variety. And then outside of It's Variety, I'm not just a wrestler. I'm in school. I'm in school for my second degree, media communications. So I have a podcasting class. I have social media classes. I have film and video. All that. That's everything in my degree. Encompasses all media. So yeah, I'm in school. I'm running a production company. I'm running a wrestling company, and I'm doing what I do as a wrestler also. So the grind don't stop.
25
and it
8.
won't stop.
25 8. 25 8. Man, if the people want to get in contact with you, reach out to you for interviews, get merch, where do they see you at on social media?
So we're going to keep everything. I'm going to tell everybody just IG right now, because when you go to the IG, in the bio, it has a link tree, and the link tree has TikTok. It has everything that you need to know. But if you want to email me directly for an interview, everything's Nigah Sism. NajahSism@gmail.com. Simple. NAJASISM at gmail.com. And then if you want to reach out to me on social media, let's just keep it on Instagram, because I can connect you to everything else on Instagram. On Instagram is the Nigah Sism. So TheNajasism, the greatest, the baddest, the best. Just hit me up on Instagram. I do follow back. Social media has been crazy for the past month because, like you said, that video went viral. I've never had that much interaction till this day. Every time I go on my Instagram, there's more than 100 likes, more than 50 comments that I have to go through and just respond to, because I try to respond to every comment. I try to acknowledge every like and everything like that, because I feel like being interactive with your audience is how you continue to grow your audience. When new people come on your page and they see, oh, he's interacting with everybody that comments, and he's interacting, and that makes them want to interact with you. So,
Big facts. Big facts.
But yeah, follow the Instagram, the Nigah Sism. Message me, I'll respond, or email me, I'll respond.
And support.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard all the messages. Then you're not a wrestling fan. If you heard this one, you are going to be a fan of Nigah Sism. He also gave a lot of jewels about how to not get a big head, stay humble, how to stay true to the craft. The passion he had with this whole conversation shows not only is he professional wrestler, musician, businessman, but he's an artist. He cares about his craft.
And the biggest thing I could tell people who are trying to get into wrestling, you got to come into the mindset of, this is a business. How you carry yourself backstage, how you carry yourself when you walk in a room, I always have a business mindset. You don't see me go to shows without my own merch on, my own shirt on. And I've just experienced, for the past 2.5 years, I've experienced a lot of younger talents lose their cool backstage, or just lose it. I'm not gonna go into details, but just stay professional, guys. Do what the booker wants you to do. I mean, certain things you can question, but one of the best things you can do as a younger talent when you go into a new show, or you're trying to get over and all that kind of stuff, you can add your little 2 cents in, but always be professional and try to do what the booker says, because you listen to the booker the first time, he's probably going to have you come back because he feels like, okay, I can work with this kid, I can coach him, he's going to listen, whatever. Most bosses aren't going to hire somebody that's always going to be combative and always arguing and never on time and all that kind of stuff. Be on time. Be on time. Be about your business. If you're entering the wrestling business, it's called the wrestling business for a reason.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I hear that. And to my comedians out there, or podcasters, entertainers, listen to this man right here. And instead of thinking about wrestling, think about the comedy aspect as well too.
That's it. I released a video on my production page, my production company page. I'm starting to do tutorials on that page, and the first one tutorial dropped was consistency. And consistency is key with everything you're doing, whether you're a comedian, actor, business owner, entrepreneur, hairstylist, whatever. Consistency is one thing that will help drive your brand. If they know that you're consistent with posting and everything that you do and the quality of your work consistently grows, then I'm going to purchase whatever your product you buy, and I'm going to use you. I'm going to hire you because you're consistent. If you're that consistent with what you're doing, I know you'll be consistent for me. So that's my key thing for everybody. Whatever you're doing, just be consistent and always think quality. Don't just throw stuff out there just for the sake of throwing it out there. Be strategic with what you post and what you do. I'm strategic with everything I do.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Nigah Sism, for
No
being a
problem.
guest. I really appreciate the jewels that you drop, and I hope you continue getting your flowers and being a OG of the game. I'm not talking about original gangster. I'm talking about offering game to those that's willing to go underneath your mentorship. So I
Yep.
appreciate you so much, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.